All right, question. Anything?
Yeah, Carol Cancer.
Come on with it.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 27.
You Apocrypha?
Carol Cancer.
All right, let's rock.
Yes. Carol Can. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 27.
Not X, Ecclesiasticus.
Carol Cancer, Salakia.
No sweat.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
A loud crying woman and a scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I understand that.
All right. What does it sound like it's saying?
So like yes, a loud crying woman. That part seems that we're talking about what we say a miserable woman or a peasant woman.
All right. You had to get a warning before you fire them warning shots. All right. Okay. So a woman who's loud and boisterous type of woman, right? All right. A woman who full of mouth. All right. She has more mouth than anything else. Go ahead.
And a scold, right? I know a scold like when somebody correct you or chastise you.
Mm-hmm.
And the scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemies. That is the part that I'm not sure.
Okay, no sweat. Wait yet again?
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 27.
26 and 27.
Can.
Okay. Okay, so just think about how when you have a woman who crying out, who's loud. Either she arguing with somebody or she's grieved over something and she's going off. What typically happens?
What typically happens? I get fed up.
You get fed up and you roll.
Can.
Right? You get fed up and you roll. It's something with Eve. When she started going off, there's naturally you ain't want to be around. The natural reaction to it is that you don't want to be around. But of course, when you get properly trained, you know how to handle it. But just think in the natural sense of things, right? Because read the verse above it.
Canon Cancer, verse 26. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all.
Mm-hmm.
But she that dishonored him.
So like, go up one more. So like, go up one more.
Canon Cancer, the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog.
Mm-hmm.
But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord.
Right? What does that say?
So like you say, a shameless woman, a woman who has no she have no check even within herself, shameless.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Shall be counted as a dog, shall be counted as nothing, of no value.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
She's gonna be counted. She'll be counted as a dog. Low, not no value, but low value. Like low. Instead of high, she'll be counted of low value, like a dime a dozen. I could get another one of you tomorrow. You get the point? And of course, and also double meaning, dog is like a heathen. You get me? But a shameless woman, because that's the heathen behavior she's bringing. You get me? That type of behavior is like, you acting like them, right? But of course, counted as a dog, a female dog is a bitch. a shameless woman gonna be counted as a bitch. A shameless woman gonna be counted low. Like she's nothing, like she's low down, right? And shameless meaning give me a definition for shameless in this context.
A definition, I still like yesterday, just making sure.
Yeah, give me you could use a biblical not biblical. You could use a dictionary definition. Give me a definition based on what you know and the context of it. Anybody?
Definition for shameless. This is the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Having no shame, insensible to disgrace.
Let's say insensible. Insensible meaning like it's like saying you're not sensitive. How to describe it? Inconsiderate. That's what insensible is. You understand? Like you just lacking all consideration. You just let anything come out your mouth. You understand? And that's typically how Eve is. Right? When Eve, she gets angry, whether she has a legitimate reason or not, she'll say whatever. And then, of course, try to make it up after. You get me? Sensible, right? Inconsiderate, totally just reckless with her mouth. What's the other thing to say? Insensible and what?
So like yes, and also you have not embarrassed or ashamed.
Not embarrassed or ashamed is damn near like the same thing where, okay, like to say something, some people would think twice about it. You get the point? Some people would be like, nah, I can't say that. You understand? Some people would be like, nah, I cannot say that. To say that means, you know, to say that is something else. I can't say that because there's no coming back from that. It's already said. So even though I'm angry, I'm not going to say that. I might say something else. You understand? So now it's saying here, Eve, a shameless woman, she going to be, there's nothing bridling her. Whatever comes in her anger is what she's going to do and what she's going to say. You get the point? She destroy your whole life because she's mad at you, and now you could go to jail for child support. You get the point? She go get an abortion. She mad at you. She say some old slick shit out her mouth about some other person, and try to belittle you in comparison to him. You get the point? It's a shameless behavior. It's her mouth. It's what's coming out of her mouth. You understand? What's a good UPK definition? A shameless woman is a woman who lacks discretion. You understand? She lacks discretion. Right? Somebody say Salakia?
Yeah, cancel.
Go ahead, who?
Also have I'll say can. I have some synonyms.
Come on with it.
Flagrant, blatant.
Flagrant and blatant. You understand? Like, you know, you ain't even like, you ever hear people say something and then everybody is like, you hear what I'm saying? It's like flagrant. It's like just without thinking. You understand? Without thought. Go ahead.
Overt.
Overt. What does overt mean?
Like yes, sir. It means out in the open.
Is that what it means? I think it's something else.
So like yes, I'm gonna say covert is when you're undercover, under secret.
Right. Overt.
Overt is when it's
open. Okay, why am I thinking like it's more than necessary? Why am I thinking? Hold on. I do see it easily seen. not secret or hidden. I'm in my head for some reason I have like it's over the top more than necessary.
Like I said,
go ahead.
The definition for over is done or shown openly, plainly apparent.
Plainly apparent, easily seen, openly, which is the opposite of discretion. When a woman or any person who has discretion, who is discreet, knows what to say and what not to say, knows when to say what to say, knows when to be seen and when not to be seen, knows what is good for the public and what is good for what is not good for the public. You get me? A person who has discretion. You ever hear people say use your discretion? What does that mean? Using your judgment. A person who does not have good discretion does not have good judgment. You understand? And that's why they just do whatever and say whatever, because they lack judgment. They lack the ability to, well, I ain't gonna say that, I'm angry. I ain't gonna do that, I'm angry. Brother, he's with me. When I got with him, I was with somebody else, but he with me now. He don't want to claim the child. I'm not going to destroy his life because I'm ashamed because I've been a whore. You get me? Eve doesn't say that. Eve doesn't normally say that. You understand? That's not how she rationalizes things in her head, right? Some sisters grew up in a house with a father and understands how child support destroys, or have listened to the UPK, and you would hear them say, I ain't never put in my child's father on child support. But typically stuff like that is just, it's second nature to a woman in the world, because she has never been taught discretion. She has never been taught, to be shamefaced. She has never been taught judgment. It hasn't been instilled in her spirit. So the first thing that comes to her mind, she does. Whatever feels good at the time, she does. Whatever does not feel good, she doesn't do. Which, you and I both know in life, usually the thing you have to, as you become an adult, usually the things that don't feel good is the things you should be doing. And usually the things that feel good is the shit you should stay away from. You understand? Usually things that feel good to say is stuff you shouldn't say. Usually shit that does not feel good to say is probably what you should say. But you would never know it if you don't think about it first. If you're not in the practice of having discretion, right? It's something that can be trained up in anybody. It's something that you could learn over time. But of course, our households are destroyed, so there's no place, there's no platform for our children, our generations coming up to learn it, right? So a woman without discretion, a shameless woman, will be counted as a dog, right? But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. So it's giving you a dynamic. It's giving you a, polar opposite, right? One woman is shameless, one woman fears the Lord. So in this context, what type of woman is the shameless woman?
So like yes, a woman in the world?
A sinner. Like a woman who is just, you're right, in the world, but, just to make it plain. Like this, okay, sometimes you see, I'm going to give you a good example. Sometimes we was doing some project. It was some college campus we went to, right? We did some college speaking or lecture sometime. This was years ago, right? Myself and Captain Natha. And we was bringing out the slave trade and all, using the biblical prophecy as well as historical references and, little statistical numbers that we found. There wasn't many, but we found some from the Library of Congress, different articles people read. And of course, we videotaped it so the general could see it. Now, after we did the presentation, some broad in the back get up and she's like, how we know those numbers are true? Because, it's kind of impossible to kill so much people. And before we could start to answer her, she started just, walking up and just talking louder and louder, but she ain't start to, get like fiery Eve. She just, when you watch the tape, you realize she just wanted to be heard. She just wanted to, you know, the masculinity in the room was affecting her. And she's used to being the center of attention. So she come up and she start talking because how you know you wasn't there. And only certain amount of people could fit on a ship. And the ships back then were only so and so big. And like she just started running her mouth. So as I showed General Mahim on the tape, he's like, she's a whore. She's a horrible whore, bro. And I want to know what the hell he looking at. Because you know what I mean? I'm a young man, I ain't seen shit. But in the spirit, you could see in her spirit, she's a shameless broad. You get the point? She's a shameless broad. And that's why she is as bold and as overt as she is. You understand? Because it's not in a woman's nature to be that bold and overt. You understand? It's not in her nature to be like that. You just from experience, those of you who have raped, what happened when you give the sister the Bible to read? Those of you who ever taught her, if you make her cover her head and you give her the Bible, I read this verse, and it's like a mouth talking. Like she doesn't even want to verbalize or get even loud because naturally a woman ain't naturally like that. You understand? It takes a certain type of person, a certain type of mental conditioning for her to be that bold and overt and out there. You get the point? So that's the shameless woman, right? Keep reading. 26.
That one cancel. But she, 26 here. Verse 26. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. But she that dishonoreth him in her pride.
In her what?
In her pride.
In her what?
In her pride.
Go ahead.
Shall be counted ungodly of all.
You understand? So it's the same thought being transferred throughout them verses. The shameless woman and the woman who fears the Lord. Right? The woman who honoreth her husband and the woman who dishonoreth him in her pride. Just think about in her pride. Give me an example of how a woman would honor her husband.
So like I said, a woman honoring her husband, so I just mean I'm not sure. I don't know if that bring something more specific, but a woman who following the instruction that is given by her husband.
She following the instruction that's given by her husband. Okay, give me, let's say you see a sister in the street. You don't see her husband with her. How you know she's following his instruction? It's not always, but typically a woman who has a man is a different vibe from a woman who doesn't have one or who has one and dishonors it.
I was like yesterday, I was about kind of like paraphrase the precept where you're talking about a man will be known by gate and the way he carry himself or something like that. I'm not sure what it is. So like yesterday.
I think I'm probably mixing it up. It sounds like something else you're saying in Proverbs. Somebody say Salakia?
Yeah. Salakia, sir. Would she be known by the way she carry herself and the way she dress?
The way she dressed. Right? The way she dressed. That's the first thing because you admiring from afar. You might see her from, might see her from a little distance. You might see her and you realize somebody is keeping this woman. Somebody is tending to her. Somebody's maintaining this woman. Because look how she dressed. She got to have a man. You're going to still ask anyway. You're going to still run up there and ask anyway. So like, she might not be married. But it communicates something. You know she is obeying her husband. So she dresses how? She dresses how? Come on, who's that? Go ahead.
She dressed modest.
She dressed modest. Opposite of proud. So the tight clothes, the short clothes, the half naked shit, the net they wearing with the cross tape on the nipple. That's in her pride. She dishonors her husband. She's proud of her body. She think that tail is just glorious, so she had to show it off. You understand? That's why they take all the pictures backwards, looking over their shoulder. That's why she's so impressed with her body. She got to show it off. She's proud in it. I'm giving you this one example, right? She thinks she's so smart, she'll be in the street arguing with anybody because she don't have to take that. Who is you to talk to me like that or do me this? She don't have to take that. She could just launch out. You get the point? Another sister will do what?
Yes, sir.
She will call her man. You get the point? She will call her man to handle that situation. I'm gonna give you a prime example, and it's I hate to use it because, bro, I feel sorry for this sister. You all saw the video in Texas last week with the devil who beat the brakes off this sister.
I don't care.
Right? She was going down a one-way street. She was going the wrong way. She said she made a mistake. Right? Which is you know, that happens. You may not know. Right? That, you know, shit like that happens. It's not abnormal to make a mistake going down a street. She was going to drop off some girlfriend of hers somewhere. But anyway, this devil following her, more than likely blowing the horn, because she did say she pulled aside. She did say she stopped somewhere to let her girlfriend off to the side so he could pass. If she pulled aside, how did she get out of the car? How does he get the opportunity to put hands on her?
Like I said,
Go ahead.
she came out to argue with him.
She came out thinking she was a little white girl. She came out thinking she's Sally, and she got that long nose and that blue eyes to mesmerize somebody. She thinks she could just flick her blonde hair and let it drop slow like in the movies, and she'll just mesmerize somebody. She forgot she was an Israelite. And she should have just stayed in that car with the windows wound up. Or what would have been the most sensible thing to do? Somebody behind you at night, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, blowing the horn. You're already established it's not a cop. What would be the sensible thing to do? Okay, well, she dropping her girlfriend off somewhere by some hotel or some shit like that.
So like I said,
Go ahead.
call 911.
Not call 911, but shit, you're still there. Just make the block. Just drive off. It ain't hard. You can't go up, make a right, make another right, and then come back around. You get the point? If it is now, she knows she has somebody home who will question her. How the hell you get out of the car? Now I know he swell your face, and I'm going to bust his head wide open for it. But why you get out of the car? For what? Suppose you had my children in the back seat. Your dumbass endangered them all. You're lucky it was that little whole friend you're hanging with, who are told they don't hang with anymore. If you wasn't hanging with her, you wouldn't have get your ass beat in the first place. You get the point? See what I'm saying? Now, of course, what the devil did was absolutely wrong, and she should be able to come out and not have nobody put their hands on her. That should happen in an ideal society. Unfortunately, we live under the white man who is the devil the Bible speaks of. He should have more sense and more judgment than that at night. You come out to confront him, he pulled the gun. She said, well, you pulling a gun on me? And this sister, Salaki, simple. She stand up there and pull out her cell phone and call 911. Instead of backing up and trying to go in the car. Trying to get away from this motherfucker. Excuse me, language. He slapped the cell phone out of her hand. She ain't run yet. What did she turn and do?
Okay.
She slapped him. Brother, where has she been for the last 10, 15 years? Now, if that devil had put her to death, you know he'd have went home? You know what he would have said? I was standing my ground. I thought her cell phone was a taser. She said she was going to tase me. I slapped the taser out her hand. She lunged at me. And all I could remember was pointing and shooting. You understand? Like, there's, okay. At one time, there's courage. And at another time, there's just stupidity. That was not courageous. That was just stupid. It was not a sensible thing to do. Now I could understand you walk into your car and this person walk up on you and you kind of had a turn in defense. But you in the safe place and you get out because you're proud. You know why? Because that husband at home, when he check you, you get up in his face too. But when he up in your face, you could hit him and call the cop, and the cops show up and take him away. You heard her on the news? I watched the interview. She said it's a good thing they taped it, because if when the cops showed up, it would have been my word against his. What she really needs to say is, when the cops showed up, I'm black and he's white. But you're used to doing your husband that shit. You're used to that. But if you honored your husband, you'd have known, number one, you would have known this is a man I'm dealing with. I cannot fight a man. I could talk to him. I could use my femininity to make sure he don't fight me. Number two, this is a white man. He just shot up the mosque in New Zealand. He just put Eric Garner to death, Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland. Just run it down. Bitch, stay in the goddamn car. Wind the windows up. Drive the fuck off. Just drive off. Tell your girlfriend, you know, let's make the block, or you coming by me tonight. Something. Don't get out the car and try to go and box the nigga and then get, you know, she ain't get a two-piece, she get a full meal. I mean, this nigga was going to work on the girl that like she was a nigga. You get the point? And listen, I'm not saying she deserves it. I'm just showing you an example of poor judgment. You know what I mean? I'm showing you that example of poor judgment. And oftentimes it comes from the practice of being a certain way all the time. And it's sad because she should have known better. She should have known this is a white man. I'm not coming out to confront this devil 2 o'clock in the morning on a one-way street. Nobody around. I'm not doing that. I'm going to stay in my car. I'm going to drive off. I'm going to run him over if he stands in front of the car. But I'm not getting out. I'll turn on my phone and start filming something. You get the point?
Right.
Go ahead.
Is it correct to say that based on the culture, you know, especially females in Israel, they're not accustomed with the masculinity. So they are always the dominant one in the relationship, the aggressive one. And when you don't have that masculinity to show that, you know, a man is stronger, a man is, you know, authoritative. He tried that same thing with Esau, and I guess it didn't end well.
It didn't work well. It didn't end well. That's absolutely right. That comes from, and that's the topic tonight, that comes from the destruction of the home. How can you enter a strong man's house and spoil his goods? You must first bind the strong man. And unfortunately, by and large, in our household, men, just the physical presence of a man is not there. It's not there. Like, okay, a man don't even have to be in the truth to be teaching something in the house. And what do I mean by that? Just seeing him every morning, hearing the bass in his voice, knowing he getting up and going to the bathroom to piss, and then he coming downstairs and asking everybody what you all doing, or who ready for school, or just seeing how he walk and talk. It could teach you something. Seeing how he deals with things when you mess up. Like, you might mess up and you might think, oh shit, he is going to kill me today. And then he tell you you're wrong and don't do it again. And you realize he's strong, but he ain't gonna hurt me. You get the point? Like, that's a teaching tool. Now, in the absence of that, also with that presence there, it's a natural feeling of being protected. It's a natural dynamic of whatever comes in, he is the defense. Now, when that's not there, the woman or the children now have to defend themselves and discipline themselves. And unfortunately, with women and children, unless they're trained, you experience fear first. And fear will make you do one or two things. It's The white man has something in psychology called fight or flight. It's a moment when you're faced with conflict. It's either flight or fight. You get the point? In one instance, the fear is going to make you leave, which is what this sister should have done, because the white man is the devil. He's an animal. And based on his history, I am getting the hell out of here. That's sound judgment. The other thing is, I'm going to cook out. I'm going to lunch out. I'm going to fight. You understand? Both decisions was motivated by an emotional state. That will get you in trouble. You understand? That will get you in trouble. Now, if you in the car and you decide to roll out because you know he's the devil and you know he has the power to kill, that's sound logic. You get the point? No. If you walk into your car and this nigga run up on you and you had to defend yourself to get away, that's sound logic. But when you step out of there because the situation is uncomfortable, you're down a one-way street, it's the emotions help you make that decision. And you're going to, 9 out of 10 times, you're going to end up in a bad place. You're going to end up, you know, wishing you went left instead of right. You get the point? So what you said there, your card is right. It's like the masculine aspect is missing. And what I just described is just on a base level. I ain't talking about having a UPK man in the house. Having a UPK man in the house, you know, you might as well just, you know, you're not to do nothing else. It's a done deal because of immense discipline and order and training. And discipline and order and training. The repetition of being emotionless, that helps to keep the house grounded. You get the point? You would normally launch out when, you know, things going wrong or something happening. She ain't got to feel that way because her man gonna have it. And whatever he says to do, she gonna do. You get the point? Now, you have to figure out what's going on. And for her sister, she's the weaker vessel. She ain't equipped for that type of thing. You understand? Right? So, Makai, you're following so far, right? You're a godly woman dishonor her husband versus the godly woman who honors her husband versus the ungodly one who dishonors her husband in pride. Right?
All
right, keep reading.
Verse 27. A loud crying woman and a scold shall be sought out to drive the enemies.
Now, based on what we just went through, what does it say now? What do you think? What's he getting, if you're getting anything different?
Like you say, I still want to wait to get explanation in the last
No sweat, no sweat. Anybody else? You guys want to take a shot? Take a shot?
So like you say. Verse 27, a loud crying woman and a scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemy. So like I'm thinking in the aspect of a loud crying woman, let's just say like if a woman is in trouble, let's just say somebody come and lays hands on her and she cries out, it'll one either bring attention to somebody else, or sometimes just the mere fact that they cry, it will get that person afraid enough and they would go.
Okay, that's one situation. But in the situation we're talking about, this is just a loud crying woman and a scold. A loud crying woman and a scold, meaning a woman who is, you know, good mother, so-and-so, deadbeat, full of shit, you ain't shit, blah, you whack, blah, 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 cooking out in the street.
God.
What happened?
Like I said,
Go ahead.
It's now bring attention to show that the other people disadvantaging the person advantages or the person well off in terms of how they deal with us. So she train the woman out, she train out to answer in a particular way or to shame the enemies, and so the point is it will be evidently known all over that these men want shit basically.
Okay. A woman ain't trained. Okay. Let me see. Okay. That ain't what happens typically when a woman gets to that point. Okay. That ain't what typically happens. when a woman cooking out in the street, what happens?
Like I said,
Go ahead.
the place that is scattered.
Okay, but what prompts it? That's right. But what makes it? What makes her go there?
I guess so.
And
she emotionally operates.
Some situation, either somebody said something she didn't like, somebody did something she didn't like, she sees someone she didn't like. And at the slightest communication, at the slightest somebody bump into her or something, she goes off. You get the point?
Okay.
She goes off. She goes off. A loud crying woman and a scold. Somebody who's chastising, and okay, a scold is not just somebody who's chastising. Look up scold. It's not chastising meaning correcting, but there's another context of it. Look up the word scold. Who have it? Mark, where up?
No, I have it too. I have it yet too.
You have it?
Cancel. School. Remonstrate with or rebuke someone angrily. Some synonyms. Rebuke, remand, reproach, reprove, admonish, chastise, chide, upbraid, berate.
Right. Those are also meanings of school, to upbraid or berate. You know what upbraid means? Just think like braiding. If you're braiding something, what are you doing? Say that again?
Biden.
You putting it together, tying it together, taking time and tying it together. If somebody upbraids that, what are they doing?
Like, is it?
Go ahead.
Is it the untying it or tying it down, pulling it down?
Then pulling it down, upbraid. Remember, when anybody who had a hair braid, you know the braid goes down your head.
Okay.
So if they upbraiding, they taking it apart. Imagine she's doing that with her mouth.
Right.
Berating. What does berate mean?
So like I said. Like to tear down or to rip down?
To tear down, to disrespect, to dishonor, to ridicule. That's Eve. You understand how the scriptures say a good woman would build up her house, but a fool would tear it down? You understand? So isn't that a loud crying woman and a scold will drive away enemies? Meaning she could go off so much. It's better you just send her to war. It's better you just put her on the battlefield to fight the enemies, because she's fighting you like you the enemy. She's making an enemy out of you so much you don't even want to come in your house. So much so that you would go through life, you willing to go through life knowing that she's going to make your own children hate you. But just so that you ain't had to go through that bullshit, he's like, you know what, so be it. Now I'm gonna talk to them when they get older. That's mainly the reason why most people who grew up without a father grew up without a father. Because a loud crying woman and a scold drove away enemies. Whoever she's against in that moment, she's going to drive them away.
Like I said,
go ahead.
This old school term work, say you get a good tongue lashing.
You get a tongue lashing, like if somebody beating you. You get the point? And it drives you away. It makes you be like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with you. I'm done. I don't even want to deal with you. You get the point? So that's what it's talking about. It's not saying, you know, you have an enemy, go get some bro to come screaming. That ain't what it's saying. But it's showing, I hope nobody's thinking that. But it's showing you in the spirit of how she is. She'll drive away enemies. It's like You ever hear people say like, okay, well, you could spoil hog food? You know that. Okay. Does that, this person, if they stand next to a pig trough, the food will start to get moldy? Nah, it doesn't literally mean that, but it does mean that, nigga, you're real out of timing. You know what I mean? You could mess up something. You could spoil anything. Hog food. It's like that. Like a loud crying woman, a scold will drive away enemies. It's like that. It's like, boy, she, you know, she, you know how it is, man. Man, she in that house there, she, you know, talking a whole ton of shit. I can't handle all that yelling. You gone. You get the point? You gone. He get on the phone talking to Esau for bills. She start, you know, turkey necking on the phone and moving the neck. You know, move the neck sideways, and the finger snapping and the tongue snapping, and before long, you know, Esau just give in or just, you know, hang up or whatever. You get the point? It's just how it's saying how out of order she could do to the point where she would just drive away people. She has that ability to do that.
So like I said,
go ahead.
I think a few days ago I saw on Facebook, this guy came to drop some stuff for his son. He brought some books, I think some clothes and some stuff. And he left him because she wanted the money. Because she didn't get the money, and he saw that he brought the clothes. She said, "You cheap ass nigga, you broke ass nigga." Right. Just emptied out on him. And he was like, "Yeah, I can't take this." And he went.
Gone. He gone. I mean, she is a loud crying woman and a scold. She's upbraiding him. He come to bring the gifts to, you know, okay, and okay. Even when a brother still comes by and tries to make it good with the kids, he in a way trying to appeal to the mother that he's a good brother. He wants her to see it. Or else, what could he do? He could just put the gifts in the mail and mail it. The kid gonna get it, right? In a roundabout way, he wants to be seen as coming and handling the situation. If she had an ounce of compassion, she would just forgive the brother and, you know, make the family whole. He coming to, you know, keep the relationship with him and his kids tight, and she comes and she rips it up. She rips it up. You know, you cheap so and so. Them gifts ain't no good. Them shoes is cheap. And think a child don't know, you know, Prada from Batter Dogs. You get the point? A child don't know that the concept of value comes from whoever is the adult. And she will upbraid that child's respect for her father or his father by doing that. She would berate him. She's a loud crying woman and a scold. She ain't just crying loud about something righteous. She is crying loud about berating and tearing something down.
So like I said, what was so heavy, just as I said, when the father came to the door, his son, his eyes lighted up, he was happy, he was jumping, and then put a tear into him, and he was like, he just melted.
It's too much for him, the kid. It's just too much for him. It's just too much for him. Now, on the flip side, a sister who is right in the spirit and righteous and knows what to say, she can also be loud and a scold in the right time. Once again, there's a time for it. That's why the Lord put it in you. But not every single time is the time for it. You understand? Every single time is the time for it. You understand? That sister Susanna, in the history of Susanna in the Apocrypha, she knew the time for it. She knew the time. She knew to cry out when them priests were trying to have sex with her. And she knew the time to say, Lord, I'd rather fall into your hands than to theirs. I'll let you decide this thing. She was ready to die. You get the point? That's on the right side. She knew when to do it. But not every occasion is to do it, especially with a woman. If you're a sister, you go and you have some sort of conflict, go to your head. Go to your husband. Go to whoever you report to, whoever that person is, and get some counsel that is free of emotion. That's the best counsel to always get. Somebody who is not in the hole with you, who can tell you how to get out of it. because they're not in there. When you're in it, it's hard to see everything around. You get the point? You need somebody else to help you. Hey, nah, put your foot there. Put your hand here. Yeah, go ahead and climb. I know it's looking like you're going to slip, but it's good. Go ahead. I'm watching you. You need that type of thing to get out of the whole situation, or else, you know, you just make it worse. Yeah? That's what it's talking about, Makar. No sweat. All right, anything else from anybody?
Yeah, so like I said,
Come on.
in Genesis 19 and 26, also it was number Solomon 10 and 7, right? Talking about the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah and Lot and his wife.
Go ahead.
I wanted to find out something, right? If the Lot wife becoming this pillar of salt, if it was literal or something like a metaphor, and what can we learn from that instance there with Lot and his wife?
Oh boy, that's life. That's straight up and down life. That's life for women and for men. It's a valuable story. Okay, the pillar of salt was not a metaphor. It's like she turned, okay, that pillar of salt is like ashes. You know, ashes is salt. Right? So well, you know how when volcanoes erupt, they call it volcanic ash. Okay, volcanic. Anybody knows what volcanic ash is? It's not ash like when you burn newspaper. Volcanic ash is all the minerals that get spit up at a very high temperature. So volcanic ash is like melted sand or melted, you know, particles, and it's salt. You get me? Salt. And Sodom and Gomorrah was a very intense volcanic activity. I'm not saying it was a volcano, but it was an intense volcanic activity. Even the white man, when he goes study the sand around the area and the what's it called? What's called these? What's the name of the sea right around there? The Dead Sea. You know where they found the Dead Sea Scrolls? The Dead Sea is right around the site of Sodom and Gomorrah. You know why they call it the Dead Sea?
So like I said,
go ahead.
I just want to see if it's due to the amount of people that died in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Well, I don't know, maybe it started like that, but for sure now, it's because nothing grows there.
So like I said,
that nothing can grow in there, nothing. Go ahead.
So like I said, I think they were saying because of the position of the Dead Sea, and the waters from different rivers that empties in it, and it does not flow out, the concentration of salt is so high that it could barely sustain life in it.
No, that last part you said is the truth. The salt in the water, what they call it, the saline content, like the water is so dense, you could hardly sink in the water. It's like gel. You get the point? It's like so dense in the Dead Sea. It's very, very dense. It's not as fluid as how regular sea and salt water is. It's not fluid like that. But no, listen, the white man, in his logic, and he's a liar because he don't want to validate the Bible, he'll tell you because other rivers flow into there and dump salt into there. Bullshit. There's plenty deltas in the world. A delta is a place that rivers meet, right? There's many deltas in the world, and yes, there's a high deposit of, you know, alluviation and soil and salt. But there's still life there because why? The water moves. Anywhere there's moving water, there's life. The salt in there was the result of a tremendous volcanic activity. Something that burns so high that burns things down, and when the ash settles, it settles in the water, and that was that. The Dead Sea is the proof that Sodom and Gomorrah is real. Lot's wife turned to ash. That's what the salt is. Right? She turned to ash right there on the spot, and it was the Lord doing. Remember, who was destroying Sodom and Gomorrah? Who was actually destroying Sodom and Gomorrah?
The Lord.
The Lord. How did the Lord do it?
Well, the angels came down.
And what was they doing?
Well, they're trying to see the but actually they're trying to
fast forward to the destruction.
Well, fire was coming down from the sky.
So who was doing it?
As I say before, the Lord, but you know, the angels come with that presence, so the angels are doing it. It's a lot, yes, man.
Who have a precept? Let me help my koyak out. Who have a precept? You know where it is? Where is it?
Genesis chapter 19, verse 26. Well, I deal with Lot wife, right?
Okay, hold that. I'm talking about for the angel part. I want two precepts. I'm gonna give you a hint. One is in Revelation, one is in the Apocrypha.
Like I said, you're talking about the Tita Wild Beast and stuff?
Is it the Tita Wild Beast?
Yeah, and fire and all them spirits made for vengeance.
Pull it. That sounds like you're right.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'll come up with 38, 39 Slakia and verse 28.
Go ahead.
All right. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force.
Who pours out their force?
They pour out their force.
Who?
They. Who? Pour out. They.
Say it one more time. Who?
They.
They.
Okay.
How many angels was visiting Sodom and Gomorrah, Makoya?
So like I said, I think it was 2.
And they poured out their force on them 5 cities of fire.
Okay.
Right, keep reading on.
Okay. And appease the wrath of him that made them.
You understand? They appease the wrath of him that made them. Wait, hold on. Is it right here where they say that they are pleased to carry out? There's another one in the Apocrypha. This is one. I thought it was this one. There's another one where it says the angels, they carry out the wrath and they are pleased to do his work. You know where that is?
Lord, I'm sorry, if I'm mistaken, Lord. Yeah, verse 31.
Go ahead.
All right, read down to verse 31 or?
Let's skip to 31. In fact, read down to 31. Salaki, you're right, 29. 29 is all good.
Verse 29, fire and hail.
Say that again.
Fire.
And
hail.
Fire and hail is brimstone ark. Brimstone is a stone on fire. You understand? Hail is a stone. Is, you know, if you ever see hail, you know, hail could damage shit. It's like snow, but it's like a stone. Right? Fire and hail. Go ahead.
And famine and death. All these were created for vengeance.
So you know that's an angel. There's an like the 4 horsemen. Not the 4 horsemen. Is the 4 horsemen or the 7 blacks? You know, the pale horse, the black one, this one, the one for war, famine. Is the spirits, is angels being released to do their work. You get me? Go ahead.
Verse 30. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. That's
the angels of the Lord bring the destruction. Remember, a sparrow can't fall out the sky unless the Lord sanctions it. A bird can't die unless the Lord okays it. You get the point? Which means the Lord want that bird to die, an angel got to go put it to death. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 31. They shall rejoice in his commandment.
Say it again.
They shall rejoice in his commandment. One
more time.
They shall rejoice in his commandment.
Understand? You hold this precept for any Christian who like to pray to angels. You know, Archangel Michael and Gabriel, and them Catholics like to pray to angels. That angel will rejoice when the Lord give him the order to cut your head off. To make you cross the streets and let the cop car run over you. Or you know, some freak accident where you're like, how the hell that even happened? You understand? Something is like, what? How the hell that even happened? It's the Lord. You get the point? The Who are the one in Revelation? Anybody know what I'm talking about? No? All right, hold on. Hold up, let me help you out here. Hold on. Give me Revelation 7:1. Revelation 7:1. Shah, read it.
Revelation 7:1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on trees, any tree.
So now, this is John the Revelator, and he's seeing 4 angels holding back destruction. Holding it in the vision, he's seeing the angels standing up and they're holding back the wind. Holding back the winds that coming to destroy. So that they don't hurt nothing. Keep going.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God of Yahweh, and he cried out with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hold the earth and the sea.
He cried out with a loud voice to what?
Cried out with a loud voice to the 4 angels.
Go ahead.
To whom it was given to hold the earth and the sea.
What was given to the 4 angels to do?
A command.
It's saying it right there. You see 4 angels first, and then he see a 5th angel who talking to the 4 of them, who it was given, Matkoyak,
the earth and the sea.
Those angels had full authority to kill and destroy everything. They had full authority to do it, and they was holding back on an order. Right? And he cried out to them with a loud voice. Go ahead.
Continue.
Yeah, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Saying, not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of Yahweh in their foreheads.
You understand? What was the order given, Macria?
Order was given, I would say like this, the 2 orders was given, right? The first one was to hold back on within the earth and the sea, right? That is one, and the other one was to make sure the servants of the Most High get sealed in their forehead.
Read the verse 1 more. It's 1 order given. There's only 1.
But then the order will be not earth. Earth, not this.
Read it 1 more time, Shah. That last verse, verse 3. This is the order. This is the 5th angel giving 4 of them an order. Laying the message to them.
Revelation chapter 7, verse 3. Say, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the tree, till we have sealed the servants of Yahweh in their foreheads.
Macria?
Right, it's saying, right, to hold, right, more or less hold your hand until the servants of the Most High.
Until we. Until we have seen you. You understand? So you have a hitman waiting right outside your door. If there's a man who has a hit on your head, the price done there. He had the order to peel the cap back. But he could only do it after 144,000 is sealed. You understand? Brother, that type of knowledge, you're supposed to live in fear always. You're supposed to understand what's going on. Because guess what? You don't know when the 144,000 is going to be sealed. You don't know if we are number 1 or number 143,999. And you don't know if you're marked for death or if you're on the right side. All you can do is endure to the end and be right in every waking breath. You be right when you inhale and you exhale. That's all. Because there's a man waiting to push your head back. You get the point? Now, back to Sodom and Gomorrah. Those two angels, they had their orders. Remember, the Lord told Abraham he was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. What did Abraham say to him?
So like you were saying, well, don't destroy it until, you know what I mean, we find righteous people in it.
So then if he's pleading to the Lord, don't destroy it, and the Lord didn't destroy it, in the spirit realm, what are the angels doing?
In the spirit realm, they're probably like having a council.
Hold on. I think Esau messing with me now. You always hearing some loud, high-pitched noise? What the France is this, babe? Go ahead.
If I speak right, is it that they're waiting on the order, sir? Is it in the spirit realm they're waiting on the order to execute?
In the spirit realm, them niggas cleaning the guns and loading bullets. They sitting down in the cut. Where's the rider shot car down there? Bluebird, a B14?
West man, like I
said.
80 wagon or West man.
80. That the new school shit, man. That is, that is Uzi Vert and Lil Yachi shit. I talking about the real grunter gun. Listen, is a 280C, a Bluebird or a Sonny? You understand? In the lights off, and them men sitting down there just cleaning the steel, checking it out, checking the barrel, make sure the barrel's straight, breaking it down and assembling it back up, and then pointing it out the window. Break it down. They're just waiting on go. They're waiting on go because it's time to kill. Because Abraham is pleading with the Lord, don't kill everybody. Don't kill everybody. Don't kill everybody. Now, just a sidebar. According to Revelations 12, that's what Christ is doing with the Lord with us. Right? Where it says Satan accusing day and night. He's the accuser. Day and night is like court. Satan is pleading with the Lord. Go down there and kill Meshach. Go kill Galawan. Go kill Sowap. Go down there and kill. Them niggas ain't shit. Go kill all of them. And Christ is like, La Asta. Give me some more time with those brothers. Give me some more time with those sisters down there. I could work with them. Yeah, they might have made a mistake. I could work with them. Nah, don't kill them yet. And your life is in the balance, huh? Your life is in the balance. You get the point? That's what's going on. So now Abraham is pleading with the Lord not to kill everybody because he has a relative there. Remember, Abraham and Lot was brothers. There was what, cousins or uncle and nephew?
Uncle and nephew.
Uncle and nephew that lived together, but they started accumulating so much that they was offending each other. And they decided to move. The scriptures say Lot chose to go amongst wicked men because he couldn't live with his brother. Lesson number 1. Live with your brother at all costs. Whatever it takes, brother. Offend, whatever. There's a word for offenses. It's called salakia. You understand? But don't ever let whatever you get or don't get accumulate so much that now you're offended. Because that's what happened. The scripture said the servants started beefing with each other over land and whatever, and they had to separate. But it says Lot chose to go live amongst wicked men. And that was the problem. Abraham went to another land. Lot could have gone there and just go a little further away. But Lot went somewhere else. And it says he chose to live amongst wicked men. That's mistake number 1. Some things happened after that. In war, I think some Hamites went down there, or some East Indians. I think them East Indians went down there and it spoiled Sodom and Gomorrah and took Lot captive, I believe. Abraham went down there, fought them, got him back. That's when Abraham paid tithes of all. Lot's still living there. The Lord called the shot on Sodom and Gomorrah. Abraham is begging and pleading for the sake of Lot. You understand? For the sake of Lot, Abraham is begging and pleading. Boom. The angels went down there. They found Lot. They was able to verify by his what? They was able to verify that he was a righteous man by his
works.
His works. Give me, be specific.
Like I said.
Go ahead.
By his brotherhood.
By, give him a hand. Go ahead, Yakad. I see you on point. I see why you said by his brotherhood. Because it's a law to do what? Give me the precept.
So like I said, not the two greatest commandments you want?
Not that one.
So like I said, the one earlier was when Abraham himself, when the two angels did come initially, and he fed them, washed their feet.
What is the precept for that? That's a law in the Bible. Give me Hebrews 13 and 2 quickly, just for time's sake, because I want to get to the other topic.
Okay.
Hebrews 13 and 2, quickly. Whoever have it, read it quick.
The book of Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares.
You understand?
Okay.
Like, it's in our law to be hospitable to an Israelite. And just think about it now. Would you let some stranger come into your house and sleep? Huh? Nah, you're not doing that. You know why? Because we've been destroyed. We've been destroyed. It's supposed to be that somebody could knock on your gate or knock on your door and say, listen, man, I'm traveling from Arima or whatever. And it's late. I had to go back. My car broke down. And you're supposed to be like, hey, no sweat, brother. Where you from? So-and-so, yeah. Or just you alone? Have you eaten today? You need to be in your chin. Yeah, come on, you call your woman and she's going to cook. And now you house somebody and he wake and sleep and in the morning he go. It sounds foreign to us now, but brother, that's the people who we once were. You understand? That's people who we once were. And I'm gonna take it back in the spirit. What y'all did down there initially when Officer Galwan first came down, none of y'all knew him. None of y'all knew him. He didn't know none of y'all. But what did you do? Open your doors and be hospitable. You get the point? Like in here, in the I.S.U.P.K. is the kingdom of heaven. The Lord said the kingdom of heaven is within you. How we treat each other, what we do, it makes it the kingdom of heaven. Outside of the school, shit. Who the hell knows what could happen? You walk into a man's house. Who the hell knows what could happen? You understand? Going back to Genesis, those angels, they didn't walk around. It's not like they walk around with their wings and 9 feet tall with the sword and shit. They look like regular men. Lot did not know there was angels. You get the point? And that's why the scriptures say, be careful because you could entertain angels unawares, meaning there's only one way you could not know is an angel, is if he looked like a regular human being. You understand? He looked like a regular human being. You might have a conversation with somebody and they say something and you're like, man, why does nigga say that? Or why should he say that? And as you walking off, you turning around to go back to talk to them and you bend the corner and they're gone. Who knows? You get the point? God is trying to instill with us a certain type of class and honor to have with each other that is better than the heathens. It's better than the heathen nations. In the heathen nations, brother, you get caught slipping, you get caught for bad. You understand? You get caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, that means we must take advantage of it. In Israel, that's not the case. In Israel, it's how you doing, brother? What's going on? Are you eating? You need to take a bath. How's your horse or your car? You need anything for your car? You need gas? You need straight? That's how we take care of each other. You get the point? So now back to Genesis, Makwea, right? So that's your 2 precepts for the angels is the one who brings destruction. Anything, tornadoes, the angel getting it on in there, or 2 of them. 2 of them might just be flying in circles, tearing shit up. Listen, a few years ago they had there was a tornado in Oklahoma up here. That region where Oklahoma is known as the Bible Belt. Also, you know, heavy with slavery and stuff like that. And every year there's tornadoes that come and rip these places apart. And there was a tornado a few years ago. I think Commander GEN.YAHANNA did a tape on it. You can look it up. The Lord is in the tornado, something like that, Commander GEN.YAHANNA. Where the tornado, brother, only wrecked white houses. Only. Officer I.S.U.P.K in Oklahoma, bro. I remember talking to him on the phone the next day. He said his side of the street was fine. Across the street where them devils live, flat. Now, what the white man would say? Man, I don't know. The hurricane following this path. Nah, nigga, there's 2 niggas in there with wings that fucking shit up. Excuse my language. Tearing shit limb from limb, and they know who they know who what.
Like Israelites.
That's true. But based on what we just read, they know who not to hurt until we have seal in their foreheads. You get the point? Know who not to hurt. But them devils, you could tear them shit up. But they know who not to hurt. The Lord said, don't hurt him. Ain't no sweat. What about him? We killing him? Nah. The Lord said, give him some more time. All right, no sweat. No sweat. You hold back that piece right there. You waiting to kill. You get the point? So now, going back with Lot, they skip me down Makwea to where the angels told Lot and his family to leave. Wait, is Genesis 19 or 21 or something?
Genesis 19, Kalankan.
You need some help? Let me see if I catch up with you. Let me know if anybody else has questions too. Tonight we're just going to go into a little bit, well, not a little bit, we're going to go over some precepts on why we are destroyed, why we are the way we are.
Kalankan, sir.
Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 19, verse 15. Wait. I can. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city.
Right? So now, remember, Lot is, okay, you had to understand it. Lot, what kind of person was Lot in that city?
He was a righteous man.
He was righteous, but carnally. Give me the carnal position of Lot in that city.
Yes, sir.
I'm
not sure because I really know the story too well, but can I guess if I may?
Go ahead.
Was he like a judge in the city or somebody, a councilman or something like that?
Not a judge, but he had a significant amount of wealth. Remember, the wealth between him and Abraham is the reason they separated. They started having cattle and silver. It's just they just couldn't stay together no more.
Right.
So just think like an Israelite. Well, not an Israelite, but just how black people are. But he was not Israelite. You get the point? This was before Israel. But just think like a brother who have money living amongst heathen. How he lived. Even though he's a righteous man, but you could say Lot enjoyed a certain comfort level of life. So now he pulled these men into his house who he don't know, but they come in, and according to the law, these men have on certain type of clothes, hair braided a certain way, so he know this one of his people. You get me? Lot went out to intervene so the men don't rape the angels. The two angels who appear as brothers, pulled Lot back in the house, save his life. Him and his daughter, because he carried his daughter out. Pulled them back in, shut the door up behind them, blind everybody. Next morning, them two men say, listen, sir, you have to leave. You have to leave before this city destroys you. Did Lot say, nah, I ain't leaving, I have too much stuff to leave behind? Did Lot say, no? Lot got up and followed. He followed the spirit of what was going on. He followed the spirit of it, even though it's like, it doesn't make sense to leave. He living among these faggots for so goddamn long. Why leave now? These men said leave. Follow the spirit to leave. Keep going.
Verse 16. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his two daughters. And the Lord, being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city.
You understand? While he lingered, so he's there. They get all of them and they carry them out to a certain part of the city, outside the city. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 17. And it came to pass, when they had brought forth abroad, that he said, escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed.
That's the order. You see that, Makwea? Say, all right, no problem. I told you leave, you linger, I bring you out here. Escape for your life. Do not look behind. Flee to the mountains. Hebrew Academy 101. Go run to that spot, come back, do 10 push-ups, do 10 sit-ups at Mariam Shabbat when you're done. You get the point? You know, it's a certain spirit of, you say, do this, this, that. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And Lot said unto them, oh, not so, my Lord. Verse 19. Behold, so now.
He also said, do not look behind. Flee for thy life. Don't look behind. Don't stay in the plains. Go to the mountains. Meaning, don't just run away and watch. Leave this place. Because what's about to happen here, you know, I know you might like to see it, but you ain't want to be around when it happens. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And Lot said unto them, oh, not so, my Lord. Verse 19. Behold now, thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me, and I die.
Right. So now what is Lot saying to them?
Lot is saying, right, that he's saying that he found grace in the sight, meaning they bring that form of mercy on him.
How?
Right? By coming and warning him. By coming and telling him, flee.
Okay, they actually kind of, you could say they escort them out. That's why he said he took him by his hand and his wife and his daughters. And they brought him outside. Remember, they saved his life before. You understand? By the door. Remember, them faggots was coming up on the door. That means just open the door and pull Lot and his daughter in and close the door behind them. So they're following the spirit. So he's like, listen, no, not so, my Lord. Meaning, not saying that he recognized his angels, but it's just how we talk. It's like saying sir or Adawan. It's a flyway. Let me give you a good point. Even just amongst each other, we call each other king, father, Lord, my Lord. But it doesn't, it's just like how we talk to each other with respect. You get the point? Because this here is not, he ain't saying to the Most High. Because it's Lord, uppercase L, but it's not, you know, the whole thing. He's like not saying, not so, sir. Salakia, sir. Because he giving them men respect, because them, he know that, hey, these niggas save his life. You get the point? Go ahead.
Verse 19. Behold now, thy servant.
Yeah, go ahead. Read it again. Go ahead.
Behold now, thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die.
Right. So what is Lot saying to them there?
So like yes, so Lot saying, I will not time to reach to my destination, because if these faggots see me, they might take charge of me.
Okay, did he say the faggots would see him?
Lastly,
What did he say?
saying, I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die.
What evil Lot talking about?
So I guess,
Come on, Tazwa.
is it because he saw custom living in a lavish lifestyle that the mountains too rough, the terrain too rough, or in there he afraid of what in the mountains? So
He's afraid of something.
Right.
But to add the other stuff onto it, I can't do that because there's nothing there to say that. But Lot, okay, the angel give Lot an order, and Lot immediately find a reason to not follow the order.
Yeah.
You understand? But okay, he packaged it so right. It's packaged like it makes sense. It makes fucking sense. Listen, man. If I run up in them mountains there, some evil. He didn't say, well, hey, it has some men there, they don't rob me. I know, there's some men hating me. He didn't say that path, there's always a landslide and, the rocks might come down. He just said he just find a reason because his faith was tested. That's really what it was. His faith was tested. And he's like, shit, I really want to go. That's really what it is. With experience, you'll start realizing it's, all that, some evil would take me, my Lord. And I'm seeing it in your brain. And all I'm hearing is, I don't really want to do what you're telling me to.
So like I said,
go ahead.
It's like, them fellas in Lavantil, they ain't no man. They never see my face before. I can't go up Lavantil and, what if police hold me? I might get mistake for somebody else. I might get shoot.
That's a good example. And let me tell you why it's a good example. A politician doesn't want to go in Lavantil, right? Or beat them or feel us, right?
Okay.
You all go there all the time. What's the difference?
So I guess, like,
go ahead.
Is it because we just follow orders? One we pay that, but and we follow orders.
You follow orders, which means, okay, they follow orders too.
So I guess politicians, sir?
Yeah.
All right.
So like I said.
Yeah,
I would say the difference in we going is that not only we get our order, right? But based on what we know who we are, we get our order, we go forward that the angels are the most high.
Right. How you know that?
But still, based on what we know through the scriptures, we've been taught that order coming from Commandant General YAHANNA, the most high with him, we know that the most high with us.
If it comes from Commandant General YAHANNA, who is it coming from?
From Christ.
And who is it coming from?
The most high power, sir.
From the Lord. That's in the Bible. If you need it, I could pull it from you for you. What Lot didn't realize is that was coming from the Lord. And if the Lord tell you go walk through fire, you're not gonna get burned. You understand? He didn't understand it. He lacked the understanding. He lacked the faith. So he's like, if I go up in that mountain, some evil will happen to me. I can laugh now because I remember that. My Hebrew Academy, brother, I was green up here. I had my passport in my bag. I turned to John Mahim and I said, Stalakis, we doing the marching. We marching away from the field. Brother, in the back of my head, I'm just picturing somebody going and robbing us because we bags is a certain part of the field. And where we going, we ain't gonna see shit. And all the keys in the bag, the phones. I didn't care about none of that shit. I was thinking about passport because I'm like, good night. If I don't have my passport up here, I could be in some shit. I mean, I just came up out. Brother General Hyman said, I could never forget his shit. I think I was born that day. I was literally born on that day. He said, he who has a care for his life will lose it. I'm trying to repeat this shit and I'm feeling the cut. He say, what does scripture say? What does scripture say? He who has a care for his life will lose it. And he who is willing to lose his life for Christ's sake will gain it. Brother, I said Canada one Canada. I continued marching, and in my mind, I am plotting what I'm going to say if I get back there and my passport is not done. I was young and stupid. I was just an idiot. And what I should have known is that I'm in a field training in all black, doing all kind of martial arts, the police passing, and I'm following these men anyway. Why question him now? You get the point? Even though I said Canada one can, I was still in my mind like, shit. You know, it was bothering me, but I should have been at ease now because he was right. If we out there, the Lord ain't going to let nothing happen. And brother, if it do happen, so what? What the hell does that mean? What's the worst that could happen? I get picked up and deported, come my passport get stolen. Guess what I'll do? I'd have been set up that school in Trinidad. You get the point? Like following through the thing because you're not in a position or you're not old enough to or experienced enough to understand what's going on or see what's going on. Lot is just in them mountains. Oh no, there's evil up there. What's up there, nigga? Stones and trees? What the fuck is you talking about? You get the point? So go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 20. You all know that city is near to flee unto. So like I said, verse 20. Behold now, this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live. Verse 21. And he said unto him, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, and I will not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken. Verse 22. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore, the name of the city was called Zoar. Verse 23. The sun was risen upon the earth, and Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah, and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. Right? So Lot told the angels, listen, okay, I'm going to just translate what Lot's saying to you. I can't go up there because I ain't strong enough to go up there. You sending me up there, I really can't make it. Now, did the angels turn around and say, you mother effer, you going to do what the hell I tell you to do? The angels realized, you know, he faith reading a little bit low. He ain't strong enough to go up there. He hear him out on this one. The angel much prefer him go up there. But the angel also has what? What does the angel also have to do?
Okay, sir.
Go ahead.
Is it have mercy, sir, or listen to the order most I give him?
No. Where is the last part? What's the last part?
Or listen to the order the most I give him.
What do you mean?
All right. The understand the order is to save Lot and the family, and destroy the place afterward. So, with that said, he had to now evaluate with the next thing. I will not say, but the same thing I'm going to do. See, be like, understand he paid low, but I make sure he get one system.
Yes, the angels still have to burn this kingdom down. He still have a job to do. He ain't got time to bicker back and forth with you because you ain't want to go up any mountain.
Right.
You don't have time for that.
Right.
That's why he tell him, listen, all right, yeah, no sweat. Okay, that city there, no problem. All right, well, listen, if you're going there, hurry up and go over there because I had a shit to do here. You get me?
Okay.
Really, what was the initial order of the angel? I'm going to give you time to say, come on, who's that?
Yeah, my correct, sir. The initial was to blaze down the place, burn down Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, that was the initial order. Saving Lot was last minute. Saving Lot was a, you know, hold up. Go see if you find, you know, 1. Go see if you find, no, it was see if you find 10. Couldn't find 10, they found 1, and they burned the city down. If they found 10, they would have left the city. That's lets you know the spirit of the Lord. The Lord will spare entire city for the sake of 10 people. You understand? Did not find that 10, he killed everybody. The angel realized Lot can't go up there. He said, ain't no sweat. You want to go to that city over there? Ain't no problem. Go. Hurry up. You want to go? Hurry up and go, because I can't get started with this killing until you gone. In other words, nigga, if you're here in a second, I'll kill you too. You gotta understand the spirit of it. You gotta understand the setting. Just think like you have some men there who come for a hit. They walk in the spot with the long rifles and the bandana on their face, and they say, hey, you, so what? Get your family and roll out. But I can't go slow, I go slow. Clack, clack. Nigga, just don't be here. I don't care where you go. Don't be here right now. What are you going to do? You're still asking protection to go up in the mountain? You're going to grab everybody and say, oh, let's go. Go, 1, 2, let's go, go. Go on. And as you go and you hear clack, clack, ah, clack, clack. No, you see all the bright lights flashing in the window. Hit. You get the point? All right, so now where's the part with his wife?
Verse 26.
Go ahead.
But his wife looked back from behind, and she became a pillar of salt.
You understand? Which was one of the conditions. Flee and don't turn around. Remember, he only changed one thing. The order is, read verse 17 again.
Verse 17. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, escape for thy life. Look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountains, lest thou be consumed.
He gave them 4 things. He only changed one, which was, instead of being escape to the mountain, go to that city Zoar. They still wasn't supposed to look back. You get the point? She looked back. Why did she look back? Number 1, she just didn't follow the order. Right? She didn't follow what was told to her. Number 2, you have to understand why she looked back. Why did she look back?
So like you say, if I may, sir, I would say because I the lesson she had, sir, the desire for the place that she left.
The desire for the place that she left. Because she, she's reminiscing on how it used to be and fearful of what is to come, which is a hard place to be in. It's a hard place. A ton of horrible, dysfunctional relationships is because of that. Because you sitting down home at night, I'm talking about a brother or sister in the world. It's Valentine's Day, or it's raining. In Trinidad, raining, a rainy weekend, weather for leather is all kind of backward text getting sent. That rain fall in the place, nice and cold, 22 weather. You up, send. And before long, you and the person, the brother or sister, going back and forth of how things used to be. And around 2 o'clock, Saturday night or Sunday morning, somebody running through the rain to go have sex to ruin the rest of their life. Because you can't just let go of a bad situation and move the hell on. There's tomorrow. The scriptures say a living dog is better than a dead lion. Because one thing didn't go right this way, or how you wanted it, or you didn't get to stay in a comfortable situation, you don't have the faith or the strength to go forward, even when the Lord is telling you to go forward. She died. She died because of it. Because guess what? Them angels got a job to do. Them men are off and you turning around and reminiscing. No sweat. Take one. Pow. Salt. You get the point? All right, Michael, you have that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
No sweat.
So like I said, just some quick thing. I was reading something, of what I.S.U.P.K is this having regarding like volcanoes and stuff like that.
Please.
There's something called a pyroclastic flow.
Yes.
Right? It happened in Pompeii, where that came so quickly that every person where they were, they basically froze in time in the exact thing they were doing.
Go ahead, you scholar, your card, boy. Go ahead. Remember that. That's a good piece of history and science combined to prove that Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt. That thing with Pompeii, what they call it? I forget the name of it.
Like I said, what the name of the event?
Yeah.
It's called a pyroclastic flow.
No, but that thing that happened when the volcano erupted and burned them up, it was just Pompeii?
Yes, so like I said, was that whole area?
Yeah.
That it happened to.
Yeah, I think, okay, that is a real thing in history.
Was an entire city?
Yeah, it was an entire city known for faggots and whoring. It was a ton of whore houses in there. And there were people, the ash, the outline of their body, or the mound of their body, was found in all kinds of sexual positions. Men with men, women and men, multiple orgies. They was in the doom when that thing came down. Right, go ahead, read it, Talk. I mean to cut you off.
Yeah, so like I said, they say pyroclastic flow is a fast-moving current of hot gas and volcanic matter that moves away from a volcano about 100 kilometers on average, but is capable of reaching of speeds of 700 kilometers per hour.
Brother, I paced. A real pace, they ain't out running that shit. That's why they told her leave. She stand up, you know, she stop and turn around and watching. Whoosh. She's done.
So like I said, one more thing.
Go ahead.
Even when they did the research in Pompeii, when they found some of the bodies and stuff, they also found some of the gladiators that were in there at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And those gladiators were what they call so-called Africans. Huge.
That's what they're going to say.
Yeah, what they say, but we know who they are.
That's what they're going to say. No, they will Hamite gladiators. Not every single gladiator was an Israelite. Just remember, the nations also have mighty men. Goliath. And in the Apocrypha, I tell you about the captains in the Moabite army who was telling the Greeks that if these people obey, you can't mess with them. But if they disobey, you could take them. You know what I mean? So like every nation has its mighty men. You remember the Lord, you know, he engineered this thing for glory. There would be no glory if all the mighty men belong to Israel. And there's no glory in it. Like David and Goliath would not have been a glorious story if Saul killed Goliath. Because Saul himself, the scripture tells us Saul was big and he had a history of winning wars. Saul was already established as a warrior. David wasn't. David was a shepherd. You know what I mean? So don't make sure you don't get lost in the he's an Israelite. He's an Israelite. Just because they're great in history. All right. So yeah, that's good. That's good right there. That thing, and you could go online and see, I think, images of it or pictures, something they have to show you how they were people there. I mean, when I say people there, how when the ash and everything came down, it burned them up in the act. In the act. Some of them lying in the bed sleeping, some of them having sex in the act. Lot's wife, you know, she suffered the same thing because she stopped. She did not follow through. She was shaken in her faith. She was shaken in her faith. It's important to not be. That's the lesson you want to learn from this. You want to learn to follow the orders, and you want to learn also to not be shaken in your faith, because the walk we walk in, it's not made for ordinary men. And if you need every step to be sure and every single thing to be sure, then you might not be as effective in this, or this might be the right place for you. You get me? This is not that type of walk. This is, the scriptures say we walk by faith, not by sight. Like the movements we make as men of the Lord is not based on what you're seeing. It can't be. Or else why would we be men of the Lord? Everybody's seeing the same thing. You get the point? And have faith. Few men have faith. I always like to talk about that tape in Woodford Square with Galawan. The old man tells Galawan, don't go and steal us. Them niggas down there, they're dead, they're useless, they're going to kill you. And Galawan say, I am going there. They are my brothers. There's our people and they need help. And Galawan went by himself. Brother, that's not walking by sight. That's not walking by sight. You get the point? That's a purpose. That's a purpose. Execute it. And if it means you die, then so fucking be. And like that's where it is. Now, somebody watching that gonna be like, this nigga crazy. I ain't not going there with you. But shit, where's the glory in it? I mean, goddamn, look at y'all now. Y'all go in there, everybody welcome y'all. Like, just think if he didn't have that faith to make that first step, that confidence to make that first step. Now, the world would call you or call you all crazy. You had to be a little bit crazy to do this job. I'm not going to deny it. This job is not for a sensible man. If 1 + 1 is 2 to you, you're in the wrong position. To me, when I add up 1 + 1 is equals 144,000. I don't know what maths you do. But my 1 + 1 equals 12 tribes of Israel ruling. Right? But if you say 1 + 1 is 2, then go ahead and live your life. And Rihanna say, live your life. Yeah, go ahead, do your thing. You get me? The more experience you get in here, you start realizing, brother, your life was given up the moment you come into the truth. The way the logical steps you would normally make, all that shit is gone. Now your life belongs to the Lord. He direct your steps. You might as well just let go of the railing. Right now, right? Lot on the railing. And they tell him, let go, walk. He's like, nah. Nigga, just let go. If you fall, you fall. If you die, you die. Just let go. Go and experience the life of a priest. You get me? That's it. The lesson to learn from this is you chose to go live with evil men. This is the consequence. Let go. Get out. That's it. Just go. Just leave it. Because I'm coming to kill this place now. Coming to just lay it flat. Lay it flat. Leave. Don't turn back. Don't stay in the plains. Go to that city. Make haste. You understand? That's it. So my prayer could clear, right?
Yes, can sir. So what I need.
All right, no sweater. Damn, 8:54. Good night. You're killing me here. All right. Somebody keep my time for me. Let me know when it's 9:15, Baba Kusha. Give me Isaiah 3:12. Somebody hold that. Somebody hold 2 Kings 24:14. I believe that's what I want. Hold on, let me double check. Right, I definitely want Isaiah 3:12. Yeah, 2 Kings 24:14. What else? Isaiah 3:1. What does that say?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, the Lord, the Lord of hosts, will take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff.
All right, right there. Good. I want that to hold that for me. All right. Let's go. Isaiah 3:12.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12.
I want a different brother reading each precept, all right? So whoever reading Isaiah, that's one. 2 Kings is another one. Isaiah 3:1 is another one. All right? Let's go.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people,
The children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
Right, which kind of in line with what Makar was asking first, and the point that Yakad brought out in the beginning. Like the reason why you ever hear people say, you know, why black people is the way it is. Why black people this? Why all the black people that? Why y'all can't do this? Why y'all can't do that? It's because we destroyed. It's because we destroyed. Why our youth is the way they are. Why our women are the way they are. It's because we destroyed. And this is one of the consequences of us being destroyed. Read it again.
As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
Right? Children are our oppressors, and women rule over us. What does that mean?
So I guess if I may say.
Go ahead.
Children are their oppressors. I believe it referring to that how the home become destroyed, right? That the young man now is the one that is in the what the scripture says is like a bull in a net, being violent to being violent now to each other.
That's it. Our youth, okay. There's crime in the country, right? The petty everyday street crime is mostly Israelites doing it, mostly, right? And that is an oppressive situation to be in because you, being an older brother or sister, you scared to go out. You scared to do this, to do that. You had to lock up. There's a whole industry that comes from crime, which is called security. You had to go down by the hardware now and get barbed wire, get them BRC, and you know, weld the let's call them thing by or it's put on the window. Burglar proofing. You gotta burglar proof your window. You know what I mean? The camera thing is something that kind of new to Trinidad relatively. But you know, 10, 20 years ago, ain't nobody had no damn camera. It was burglar proofing, barbed wire, broken glass bottle on top of your wall, and some pit bull or some Rottweilers. Right? And a tree line under your mattress. Right? That was security. Right? We destroyed children oppress us and women rule over us. Our women have been placed in charge of our household. You get the point? On a second meaning, children ruling over us are the heathens that rule over us, the white man, and leaders. Our leaders are just big effing children. Big children. You see Gary Griffith complaining about how much they're criticizing him? You remember that? That was on the news? Gary was like, oh, I can't take the media. You're criticizing. Nigga, you're the police. You chose a job to be criticized in. What's your problem? The media criticizes everybody. What's your goddamn problem? You're just a big child. You understand? Child. Guess what? They criticize Christ. What make you any better? You can't take some criticism? No. You're just a child. And because of it, you remember, what's his name? Fitzgerald Hines. Went down on the beat him after it flood and they kick water on him. What's up all he dread? Our ass soaked. What Fitzgerald Hines turn around and say?
You see
a little bit more than that. All these things you must commit to memory if you're going to be an effective teacher. You say a little bit more than that. Well, in your downtime, go find the tape and listen to what he said. If your memory is sharp, because sometimes with me, listen, I could show you 3 notebooks all the way from 2005 right here. I just write everything down the general said so I could repeat it when the time comes. Get a book and write down the shit he said, because what he said was horrendous. It was ridiculous what he turned around and told those people. Right? Tazwa.
So I guess if I can remember some of what you were saying is that a lot of people are grateful. You see about all wetting down, soaking down, and respect. Without bringing or something so. Yeah, something along them lines.
It's something else. You're right. That's the first thing he said. He said something else. If it wasn't right there on the spot, it was in an interview after. But I know his response to them, it said something else. You're right as well. He did say that too. Go ahead. Who have it?
Yeah, so like I said, if my memory serves me right, I think you were saying something like we will have to pay for that or something.
Yes, brother.
Right.
I will not forget this, you know. I will not forget this. Mark my words. Or you're going to pay for this. What happened about 14 days later? Go ahead.
The whole of Beatham get shaken.
The whole of Beatham got raided. They arrested like 55 people. What was Fitzgerald Hines at the time?
So like I said, I'm not too sure, but I think he was acting Minister of Security or something.
That'll work. Give my guy. He was acting something in power. He was just acting. But he acting and he feeling so offended. Oh, poor you. Usually when you wait for the fucking West, you can't take a little water, you gonna melt. You send police there to brutalize poor people. You're a child. You're a kid. And you should have no power. Having power, you must know how to use it. You must know when to flex it, when to exercise. Other than that, you're just a tyrant. You're just a bully. You have to know when. There's a time for it. There's a time to understand people's frustration. They're frustrated. Their house flood out. Ain't yours? Shit, take the water, take the weapon with them. Laugh it off. All right, I understand. I will take that. You deserve it. You failed you all. How can we help? Brother, that's what them same police who went down there, you could get them police to come and help them people with the flooding. That would better use of manpower. By not being so easily offended with the thin skin.
That's right.
Old counterfeit, old hairdresser rasta. We'll call them never fashion rasta.
Like
the point, you can use your manpower to really help people. Let me tell you something. There's a saying, some devils say, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolute. You want to know somebody's true character? Give them power. See who they really are. Go ahead, Tazo.
Last one, you go. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Now that's what I'm saying, like them nigga him do that. You know, but you're touching on more important part there, you know? Just go ahead.
Oh shit, no, I'm taking him out. You're a black Hindu. You get the point? Like you had to know, god damn it, they in the Beatham, man. Nobody looked at anybody in the Beatham with respect. I can imagine being from the Beatham and going to apply for a job. You put in a fake address. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you put in a fake address. You put in an auntie somewhere in Dego Martin you never even seen.
Right.
Your house gets cut out. The government not doing shit. One minister go down there and the people choose to show their frustration. And you turn and run because you're a bitch. Stand there with the people, man. Talk to them. Talk to them, man. So what? You take a little wetting. Nah, man. That was disheartening, man. You have to understand people's frustration. And that's what I don't get with leaders. Leaders act like we're supposed to be poor and suffering and hungry and be fucking happy. Excuse me, language, Jack. Like, you have to understand, yes, them men frustrated. You know, it's just to live in that condition. They have no empathy, yeah. They have none. Keep reading the scripture.
As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
Go ahead.
O my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err.
They which lead thee, cause thee to error. That's what err means, to make mistakes. To make mistakes, brother. And brother, we are a nation full of error. Go ahead, Art.
And destroy the way of thy paths.
And because we have weak leadership, we can't find our way as a people. We could never pull ourselves up. We got millionaires amongst our people, but that's still not helping us. You get the point? The PNM, the ruling government down there is a historically black political party. And black people, it seems like, have never been in a worse condition than now. The opposition leader, 1 second, the opposition people, UNC, is a historical East Indian party. When they're in power, what happens to East Indian communities? They get schools, they get hospitals, they build roadways, they get pipe-borne water for their homes, electrical poles going up. They're still stealing the money, but they're helping the people. Our leaders destroy our way of life. You want to know why crime is so high? Why brothers are so frustrated? Our leaders are. Our leaders. Listen now, where Rowley just come back from?
Latin America.
Doing what?
He had a heart problem.
He had a heart problem. Oh, his heart skip a beat. Why he didn't go for the Spain General? Huh? Why he ain't go San Fernando? Why he ain't go Points up here? Why he ain't go Victoria Nursing Home? Nah, that's for them poor niggas who can't afford shit. They could afford to go sit in line. You know what it would have done for Rowley to now go there and get on the list and wait and see how it is that me and you have to go through. If I'm sick, my woman's sick, my child's sick, and to go through that and then realize I have to change this shit because I mean I'm in charge and they failed me. Imagine how they failed the man who have no power. But nah, he could jump on a plane and go and let some big shot surgeon see about his heart. What about my grandfather's heart? What about my daughter's heart? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Ridiculous. Hold on 1 second. Your card was saying something. Go ahead, your card.
Yeah, so like I said, I was just going to say that these are the politicians who claim that they love the people when election time comes for the votes.
Exactly. They claim we love with people, Ain't no sweat. In about 2 seconds, we're gonna see who really love black people. We already seen it already. Galawan, what did sister tell you in C-Lots about the politician? The sister who does organize everything, what she told you about, she meet with some politician and he never showed up. Remember what I'm talking about? Bring it up.
He was saying how we just come in the community to help out and they doesn't come.
And they've been, apparently she been liaising with him for a while. But of course, he using that for political votes. And he never came. Never, ever came. And she recognized that you come. And you don't just come one time. You come back again and again, and then you bring men with you. Manpower. You bring food. You bring clothes. You bring the spirit of the Lord. Brother, that's what's needed to fix a nation. You understand? That's what's needed. Men who gonna go through it and more times than not be in the same situation. But brother, the spirit of the Lord is what we have that gives us wealth. And we go and we do a job, brother, and we bring relief to our people. No matter how small. Listen, the fact that you go there, guess what the angels is not doing there?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Not destroying your country and say what the hell is this place?
No. They're not destroying there. When they had the earthquake, Galawan, did one house fall in Silas? Not one. Buildings had a crack in the foundation. Not one house fell in Selah, sir. You understand what I'm saying? That's what's needed to fix a nation. To love black people. That's it. That's all the Lord want to see. And he'll start changing shit. That's it. Give me 2 Kings 20. Oh, Salaki, who Tazo, you was going to say something else?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
On the point of the you know, we have medical associates and all these different private practices, but here going on. But what my hand just showing me too is because some of the time that our people have to wait a long list in the hospitals because the same doctors working in the private practice, which is no good. So that is why they're leaving and going out of the country.
You is absolutely right, Ak. The same doctors working in the hospital is doing the private practice, and they making sure the general hospitals don't get certain equipment, and then they go buy 10 of them for their own private practice and charge it 3 times the price. No sweat. No sweat. I will make sure we keep brotherhood and keep a certain spirit so that the Lord will give some one of our sorry, undeserving behinds, because we don't deserve it. The Lord will look down and be pleased and give somebody spiritual power. And them machines would not even matter. Because there's one of them niggas with that shield on his neck that comes from somewhere nobody knows about every week, and he heals people. He tells people stand up. That shit is coming. That shit is coming. And all that ratch and all that private practice my ass. We're going to be on the streets healing Israel and turning heathens away. Spiritual power, fill that bucket up. Fill it up. Overflow it. Go sell your land. Go listen. Oh, you want me to heal your daughter? No sweat. Go sell your double stand and bring the prophets here. And if it don't fill up the bucket, it gets no healing. I'll cut a hole in the bucket so it will never get full. That shit is coming. I guarantee you, brother. Go ahead, Art.
Even the dogs get the crumbs with you.
Even the dogs get the crumbs. Christ said that. I didn't. We're getting nothing. Getting nothing. Right again, the bottom of my boot to kiss. All right, let me keep moving. Give me 2 Kings 24 and 14. Quickly. 2
Kings chapter 24 verse 14. And he carried away all Jerusalem and all the princes and all the mighty men of valor, even 10,000 captives and all the
skip up. Give me verse 8. I'll call all the verses and you will read those. Give me verse 8.
2 Kings chapter 24 verse 8. Jehoiakim was 18 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months, and his mother's name was Nehushta, daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem.
Right. Give me verse 10. This was in the reign of Jehoiakim, right? Go ahead.
At that time, the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up against Jerusalem, and the city was besieged.
You understand? So now this heathen king come up against the city and overtook the city. That's why it was besieged. Go ahead.
Verse 11. And Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came against the city, and his servants did besiege it.
Right? They came against the city and they made war with us, and they overtook the city. Give me verse 14.
And he carried away all Jerusalem and all the princes and all the mighty men of valor, even 10,000 captives, and all the craftsmen and smiths. None remained, save the poorest sort of the people of the land.
Read that scripture one more time. Read verse 14. Tell them where you're at again. Nice and loud.
2 Kings chapter 21 verse 14. And he carried away all Jerusalem and all the princes and all the mighty men of valor, even 10,000 captives, and all the craftsmen and smiths. None remained, save the poorest sort of the people of the land.
What do you all understand by that?
So like I said, the king of Babylon
took all the important people of the land, except the poor.
When you say the important, break it down a little more.
They basically took away all the skilled or the skilled people of the land.
Took away all the people who had skill. You see the first line, it says, he took away all Jerusalem.
Okay.
That's what you need to build a nation. People with skills, people who have certain crafts. Our oppressors have taken all those away from us. That's why certain impoverished areas don't have help. Because everybody try to get out, but nobody looks back. You get the point? Now, at one time, we were forcibly taken. Now, we willingly leave. You understand? Leave. All the reads again, the men of valor, the princes, the mighty men of valor. So you have princes, noble men, then coming from certain families. The mighty men of valor, those your warriors, the men who would make up your defense force or your police. You understand? Even 10,000 captives, all the craftsmen, men who making and forming things, smiths, men who beating iron and making swords and making metal works. Right? Who else? None remain except the poorest of the land, which is a very heathen thing to do. To take only those valuable things that he could add to his society and leave everybody else. That's why we are the way we are. Playing sports and getting a ton of money and living all over the place with Morris. I see the other day Dwight driving a BMW somewhere on the highway. You see all that? The white man likes that. And wherever he comes from does not matter to the white man. You understand? And his brother with the Lord is absolutely opposite. Where he comes from matters to the Lord. You get the point? The poorest of the lot, you shall inherit the earth. There's value there still. But the heathens done took away those things we need to make a society and made their society with our treasure. Our valuable things. Go ahead.
Just as an example, as how the heathens would operate. If they don't do it, like how I said, they pull the people away. I know they did it like how they did Black Wall Street, when we had all those amenities to quote unquote create a system or society.
Right.
I mean, they really bombed it at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But even now, they subtly do it by, bringing everybody out of the ghetto. You're rich, come and live with me.
I'm going to tell you how they subtly do it. Christianity. You are a good, big-headed Christian. You think you know it all, and you better than everybody else. You full of pride, brother. You is going to just turn your back on the people. You just go and serve the white man and be an asset to him. You serve the heathen and be an asset to them instead of giving your God-given talent to build your nation. You understand? Keep reading. Verse 15.
2 Kings chapter 24 and verse 15. And he carried away Jehoiakim to Babylon, and the king's mother, and the king's wives, and his officers, and the mighty men of the land. Those carried he into captivity from Jerusalem to Babylon.
You understand? Like even back then, the Spartans, the Greeks, they would take us and make them, fight for them against the Athenians. You understand? They would put us to fight their wars, which means if we fight in their wars, whose war are we not fighting?
Okay, sir.
Go ahead.
Ours, we're not defending our people.
That's it, brother. That's why Fitzgerald Hines ran out of the beater. Because he really went there because he was sent by them. You understand? Gerald Hines, I believe he's from Laventille or something. He have dreadlocks. He don't look all the way sold out. So You go in there, Fitzgerald, they'll accept you. You know what? I will go in there. I come to help y'all. Why are you all doing that to me? You're ungrateful. Ungrateful for what? What we should be grateful for? To see your ugly dreadlock ass? That's what we should be grateful for. I guess you got the most glorious dreads in the world. Right? Gold and wine and meat fall from your hair. Nah. Because you're really fighting for them. You're not fighting for us. If you was fighting for us, you would not have flooded the beacon with them police 14 days later. You'd have flooded the beacon with them police 2 days later to help people bail the house out, to put the mattress, to help elderly move the mattress and the furniture. You'd have used that manpower for a reason than to oppress your people, because you're really fighting for them. You're not fighting for us. You understand? So that's what we got to do. We got to go raise up our own smiths, our own princes, our own men of valor. And that's what the I.S.U.P.K is excellent in doing. Excellent in doing. Taking a people who the world looks at as nothing and turning them into what? Precept. Precept. Come on.
You're talking about the great and mighty exceeding army, sir?
That's good. Not the one I was thinking about. Thinking in line with what I'm saying. A people who everybody else looks as trash, and turning them into.
So, like I said,
go ahead.
If the children are wise and understanding people.
Okay, is trash the opposite of a wise and understanding people? Think along that line. You're right, but that's not what I want. Something that is no value. Come on, Barrier.
Yes, rejected block by make the cheap one also.
That's good. Give me Isaiah 13 and 12. Isaiah 13, 1-3 and verse 12.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
You understand? Ophir was a place where you get some fine gold at. That was a prime place to get gold. The Lord said in that day, he will make a man more precious than fine gold. You see how they look at us like we filth and we nothing and we the cause of everything bad and we the cause of the crime and we trash? There's come a time where you will be worth more than fine gold, brother.
God.
More than fine gold. You understand? Extremely valuable. In your houses and in your streets. That people will start coming to you. How to get this done, how to solve this, what to do here, what to do there. And without you, brother, people will be poor. You understand? When I say poor, meaning wanting. They would be without guidance, without a leader, without a strong man. You get the point? They would be wanting. That's what the Lord is doing with this nation. Because the heathens have took away the Lord's precious things. The Lord's fine gold, all the smiths and all this. They destroyed, they sacked us and took the best for them and left us with each other. They refused us and then we turn around and refuse each other. We turn around and look at each other evil and like we ain't shit. When we supposed to be like, nigga, we better than them. We going to be fine gold. And we're going to build this thing all the way up. And we're going to turn this ship around. We're going to revive this tree. We're going to breathe life into this nation again and get your exceeding great army and become that nation that's wise. You get the point? And become that cornerstone who the builder refused. You get me? It starts with men who are most precious on the earth. You understand? Give me Isaiah 3 and 1. Last one, and then we'll skip over it. There's a few more, but that's all our time for. Isaiah 3 and 1.
Isaiah chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, the Lord of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread, and the whole stay of water.
All right, read it one more time.
And on cancer. For behold, the Lord of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread, and the whole stay of water.
All right. What's that talking about? Keep reading.
On cancer. Verse 2. The mighty man and the man of war and the judge and the prophet and the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50 and the honorable men and the counselor and the cunning artificer and the eloquent orator.
Right? Like the Lord is a judgment from the Lord. You get me? It's a judgment from the Lord, and he allowed these heathens to come in and spoil us. And look at what they say we lose. What did we lose in verse 1?
Cancer. You want to read it again, sir?
Just point it out. What did we lose?
We lost from Judah the stay and the staff.
Uh-huh.
All right, and also the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water.
You understand? So what are we talking about it? What we lose?
So like I said, the stay and the staff, if I may say, I believe referring to the rulers.
Uh-huh.
And the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water, which is our resources or resourceful men.
Exactly. Your resources come from your resourceful men. Remember, you remember Genesis? There was not a man to till the ground. The Lord needs somebody managing shit and handling shit. You get the point? So the stay of the staff, we done lost the leadership, the protection, the military. The stay of bread and water, we done lost the men who would see about the resources, the agriculture, the craftsmen, the men who manage in the water systems and water works. You get the point? Like it tell you that, you know, in the city, they would have a sewer system and a system to bring water in. That takes an engineer. That takes somebody with some sort of skill to even come up with the concept, and then men to put it together. You get the point? Keep going.
Verse 2. The mighty man and the man of war.
Right.
The judge and the prophet and the prudent and the ancient.
Right. What is that talking about?
So I guess so.
Go ahead.
Is the mighty man like a general, and the man of war like the soldiers?
Your mighty men of war. That's your soldiers, your warriors. Just think your warriors in general. Men who go into war for the future of your land, of your nation. You understand? The judge and the prophet, right? Your judicial system, the men in charge, who the lawgiver, the men who prophesy and telling you what the Lord said, the prudent, which is what? The wise, and the ancient, which is the old and the experienced, who's been here when the first time Nebuchadnezzar tried to take over, or the first time the Babylonians came. You get me? You need people with that type of experience to help lead. But they was around when we came under attack before, and they knew what we did to get past it. You did? Right? So all this is what we done lost. This is why the UPK is the way it is. This is why we raise up officers with tremendous responsibility. This is why we raise up men to go forth and take ground, subdue and control, plan, brainstorm, sit down and come up with some way. Be right to be on the Lord's side, so the Lord would find favor in your decision. You get me? Like you, that's the type of men we raise up in here, because that's what is needed to deliver Black people. That's what's needed. And without that, R. Kelly is born. You understand? R. Kelly and R. Sally, right? The R. Shelley, not R. Kelly and R. Shelley. Them old women who molesting them young boys. Nobody's saying nothing about it. Without that, Eddie Long is running rampant. Without that is the stripper pole and the whorehouse and the homosexuality and the drug abuse and the stealing and the raping and the killing. Without that is how we are today. The only way to turn this thing around is to go and fish like crazy into the I.S.U.P.K. so we can build this nation up so Christ can come and deliver us the slaves that we so rightfully deserve, brother. Who's the Shema today? Who's on guard? So what? With that, pass the class over to priest and officer. So up, yeah.
What happened?
Security announcement. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahanna. Few rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means 10 in Hebrew and is pronounced Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, the Lord's Passover.
April 20th, Queens, New York, sundown at the Woodhaven Manor. Y'all get it, y'all put it together, y'all come through, get your transportation up, Passover, the Lord's Passover, come and break bread, get the bread, get the lamb, get the wine, come and enjoy the brotherhood, come and meet the brothers and sisters, get to see the generals, take pictures, enjoy that night when we remember how the Lord murdered and slaughtered our oppressors for our sake. All right? Sisters who are eligible. Eligible meaning completed 6 months in the school and are of a good standing and reputation, meaning you've been paying your tithes, you've been checking in, you've been on time, you ain't a loud-mouth scold running away enemies. You can get a white corsage if it is that you can get a white corsage to wear that night to signify that you are eligible for a brother to be to court or to advertise yourself as a a sister looking for a husband. Sisters who are already married to one of these hardcore UPK warriors, there's red corsages available for you. Just go speak to your camp leader about it with the payment and everything. You could pre-order the corsage now, so you just have to pick it up as you walk in the venue. The venue is absolutely outstanding this year. I ain't gonna lie. I used to like the Alhambra. Alhambra was my shit, but brother, this venue, you go in, you got to go up, and then it's 3 levels up there. The shit is insane. The shit is absolutely insane. This venue, I think, is the chariot going up here in the venue. That venue is ridiculous. I know when we go up in there looking glorious, it's even going to look better. So make sure you come to Passover. $200 per person, per family. Reach out to your camp leader. Call the nearest I.S.U.P.K near you. It's late, but it's not too late. You can still make it down there. All right? Go ahead, Art.
14th day of the first month. You can find this in the book of Exodus, chapter 12, 1 to 51. Book of Leviticus, chapter 23, 4 to 5. 1 Corinthians, chapter 5. 1 Chronicles, chapter 5, verse 78, and 2 Chronicles chapter 30 and 17. Remind Akiam and Aquatium to check social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother or sister wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirt, like pants, like headscarf. And with this, I imagine
All right. We do the Lord's Prayer, all right?
Abanawa, Shabbat Shamayim, Wadash, Ayah, Shabka, Yahawa, Malakwaka, Tabaa, Ayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Ayah, Ashamayim, Tanalawa, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Awatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Awabantinawa, Ayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Malakwa,
And in the English, what we said was, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever. So be it.
Next prayer.
Just do the Lord's Prayer for now, for the time's sake. That's it.
Give the teacher one for salute. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatam.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Barakatam.
Yajamata. Class dismissed.
Yeah, go ahead,
before I forget, when I went up to do the to get the appointments.